Well, hello everyone, I'm High Treason, and the first thing I'll say to you is if you just want me to start the damn game already, go to part 1. This is part 0, because there's something about this Let's Play I want to explain first. So yeah, you see this is the burst screen for a machine we've not seen the burst screen for on any channel, at least not in this way. And this is my Pentium D, you can see right there, that's yeah, it's had BIOS updates and shit, but it's clocking up the years. That's an updated BIOS. This thing's actually from 2005 originally, so yeah, it's 12 years old. I think there's more than 105,000 operating hours on the clock for this system now, and it's retired pretty much with Duke Nukem 2. It has no more rendering tasks to do, and has pretty much nothing left, no future at this stage, other than just being a relic that is left over of a bygone era. So yeah, it's got one last job I'd like it to do, and that is to play Mirror's Edge, because there's an odd affinity with it. Let me make it start up here. Let's bash a key so it keeps moving. I don't know what's going to happen to the recording here. My voice will be okay no matter what it does. Yeah, there's no array on that controller anymore. Those are just trash drives. Could probably unplug those and save the power supply a bit, because this thing is pretty shot, to be honest. It's had a very long life. It's done a lot of work. It's hanging in there, but the performance has sort of gone a bit downhill through age, and the stability's not what it once was, and yeah, I got a custom boot screen on it, but yeah, it's it's had a hard time, man. And this is the last thing it's going to do, really, of any importance. And I don't even know if it'll get to the end of it. It probably will, because it should have enough balls left in it, man. And what's my capture date? If it's going to give out, it'll do it here. I mean, I'm just looking at a black screen right now. I don't think you can see anything. It says 0, so I'm assuming that the capture card has shut down. Return! Right. I need to make a racket like that every once in a while. It gets me some sync. And yeah, the thing is, when Crisis 1 came out, everyone said this thing would never play it. And I had like a GeForce 7 at the time. Well, I actually had a Fire GL. I was never going to play it, but I got it to run on a GeForce 7, and it wasn't great, but it got us there. And a GeForce 96 GSO played the game maxed out. And yeah, it wasn't as fast as a newer machine would have been, but it played it, and a lot of people said it wouldn't, so I was quite pleased with it overall. And let me get this heads-up display out of my way. And it was good, man. And then they said it would never play Mirror's Edge. A lot of bullshit, man. And the thing is, they only had a 920 in. This 950 processor's an upgrade, so you can see where we've lost performance through watching this, I would imagine. Because I uploaded them videos years ago of it playing the Shard, which were aimed at the people who said it wouldn't play it. The Shard's a level in the game, which we'll see at some point. But yeah, this is it. This machine predates my YouTube channel, and so it's basically responsible for nearly everything on both of these channels up until about December of last year. So yeah, a hell of a lot of work, because it's done a lot of videos you've never seen as well, and it's clocking on the miles, man. But let's see if we can get SpeedFan to run. I want to have a look at my temperatures and stuff, and you'll be able to see how crapped out this thing is a little bit. I mean, it's literally bleeding to death, because the cooling loop, it just leaks like hell now, and it's rotting the sound card out and everything. It's getting into the drive cages. It crashes sometimes when we start this, so we might have to reset it yet. It should be alright, because we've got past the ISA probe. Now, I haven't undusted the case for this or anything, so it's still dirty in there, which is probably not going to help, but yeah, it's shot anyway. So you can see, temp 2 is the processor. And yeah, the hard drive temperature readouts are a bit funny. the voltage readouts we can just fucking ignore. They don't work. They don't work. They're broken. Leave them alone. The processor is 3.4 gigahertz. Now, we're not actually overclocking it by 66 megahertz. The adjustment isn't fine enough to do that, I don't think. In fact, we can find out. I always have a calculator out here. Let's have a look. So, if we add 3266 divided by 17, we can only do 1 megahertz increments of the FSB. Is that right? That shouldn't come out at 192. I mean, 3400 divided by 17 is 200. 3466 divided by 17 is 203. Oh, we would be able to then, but yeah, basically the clock generator's unstable, so it won't even be sat at that speed. It's going to be fluctuating up and down the whole time, which is pretty bad because it halts the processor when it happens. So you might actually see this odd bit where the game freezes up, which is probably that happening as far as I know. It generally comes back, but it's not really fun. And you can see what I mean when I say I don't play modern games. There really aren't a lot on here. There's that. That's probably the newest thing on here. And I got that because it was $2.99 in Morrison's, which is a fucking grocery store. And yeah, it was just a laugh. I got my money's worth. I probably wouldn't play it again. I could probably uninstall it if I gave a shit. We don't have the power to run that on here. That's a lost cause. Sims Medieval, that's alright. I haven't played that in a while, actually. I've just got the Sims 3 installed again on another machine. So I've really wanted to play that. I might have to mess with Medieval again soon. That's just kind of funny. Just watching Sims blundering around. It's my graphical editing software. That I hate. I only installed it for a laugh because a friend of mine really likes it. I'd like to get him on this channel once or twice. I think it could be funny. Hate Fallout. Horrible fucking games. I'm not saying you shouldn't like them, of course, but give me a second. I'm not saying you shouldn't like Fallout games, but I don't. I mean, the first two are just rat exterminator simulators, not even a very good one. And that New Vegas is probably the best of the bunch, but it's still unstable as hell. It's ugly to look at, and I can't stand that shit. And it breaks when I go near it, which it was funny when I was messing with it. I did have fun with it just because, you know, the dude who likes it who was there, so we were just laughing at the game eating its own face off. You know, I'll be stood in the middle of a town doing nothing, you just go, murderer, and just hear bullets flying past. Like, I didn't touch anything. I got up to, like, take a piss or something, and they come back, pew, pew. So what the fuck? Age of Empires 2, I like that game, that's good, but I have run on a Pentium 2, won't it? GTA 4, I haven't played that in a long time. I just used to troll the onlines with that. And little of anything else, because, yeah, pretty much everything else will run on older machines and generally does. So the bulk of the time's probably been spent in Vegas. I don't know if this will load my last saved project, but it'd probably be Duke Nukem 2. As that was its last job, unless I've used it to do something small. I mean, if it was convenient, I might have used it to render like an overlay graphic for something or someone. But I don't think so. I don't think it's done any work since then. Other than puked a load of files over the network and shit. Fucking Windows. Windows fucking update, man. I disabled you because you slow my games down, which reminds me. Avast, I'm not going to need you right now. Oh, that's ugly. Ah, come the fuck on. It used to be faster than this, man. It used to be faster than this. Oh, yeah, you're probably seeing that this copy of Vegas isn't legit because it broke, and I'm like, you know what, I don't know how strict the license thing is on this, and I don't want to waste my license reinstalling it on here if I'm getting the fucking Xeon, which obviously I have now. So therefore, rather than risk it, we'll just pirate it on this machine. So yeah, don't be sat there thinking I'm a pirate, even though I may well have just pirated it on the Xeon anyway. I'm not saying whether I did or I didn't. But let's put it this way, Vegas is prohibitively expensive, and so say if I couldn't actually afford Vegas, which, you know, is well and truly possible. Would I really be doing anything wrong by not paying for it if I couldn't afford it in the first place? I don't know. I have a stance on software piracy that I'm not going to go into, but... So I'll leave it as a mystery as to whether I've paid for it at all or not. Yeah, it's Duke Nukem 2, man. What's all the racket in that bottom timeline? There's probably cons because I kept dying or something. Used is just to stick on it and just hammer the fucking fire button to death. Seems that way, doesn't it? What else do we do? Oh, that's the capture application for the black magic. Here we go. Let's see if we can... I think one of the audio channels is out by the looks of things. Let's see, I think I can get the capture loop going on here at the same time, because I'm not using the scale. Here we go. Let's have a look what it does. Yeah, there we go. We can capture shit. Yeah, I know. The checksum's going to fail. Of course it does. Ah, no, you can't start on that. That's not good. There we go. So yeah, that's how we used to capture things. It's odd, you know. Now I don't need it. It can capture fucking purse screens, which it pretty much never did. This hard drive isn't from this machine. I'm just using it to test it. It's like just a pile of stuff on the shelf next to me right now. Turn that off. So that's what we used to capture with. Anyway, I think that's... I didn't close speed fan, did I? Fucking did. Oh, don't crash, you bastard. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Right, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to end part here. Obviously, I'm going to have to say that stuff again in brief in part 1, but we're not going to stand there like rambling about it. So let's get on with it. In 3, 2, 1...